Senator Padilla was asking me if this has sunk in yet that I'm here in this body and on this committee, and I thought it had, but I look at my nameplate and it still hasn't. I'm not used to seeing not REP on the nameplate, but I'm really thrilled to be on your committee and appreciate
Thank you, Senator
this
Schiff.
opportunity. Thank you so much for your service and for all the people in the department. I really appreciate it. So many of us that were here on January 6th owe our lives and safety to the brave work that the folks in your department have done. And so I want to begin by thanking you and thanking everyone who works with you. I want to raise an issue that I've had a chance to raise before, and let me preface it by saying how much I appreciate how much your department works with my office and with the other members, and I know how taxed you are in terms of capacity and resources. I think we're doing a much better job protecting the building, and I think, and the people who work in the building. And I appreciate all the reforms you've undertaken based on the earlier recommendations. I continue to be concerned, though, about whether we're doing enough vis-a-vis staff and members outside the building, particularly in our states. We're seeing, and you're seeing, this dramatic rise in threats and swatting attacks. Certainly, my family and myself and my staff and really all of us have experienced that to an extraordinary degree. And I'm not sure that we're going to do anything about it in the Congress unless you come tell us that in your assessment we're not doing enough to protect the members, and in order to do it, we're going to have to make a substantial investment in personnel to do it outside of the Capitol grounds. So I would ask you, what's your assessment of the security of members and staff, particularly in our states and our districts? What more should we be doing? What kind of a budget would you need to make that happen?
Well, thank you for asking that. And thank you for acknowledging that things have changed here on the campus. And that was the number one priority when I took over, is that we had to restore people's sense of safety. We had to get things under control here. And I think in large measure, we have accomplished that. We still need to pay attention to it, but we're in a good place. Who knew that threats would go through the roof, the number of threats? Who knew that the tactics that folks that want to disrupt the lives and disrupt the work of members of Congress would do, would result in people, having, 50 people swatted in the last month, had people disturbed in the middle of the night in their homes because there's people out banging on pots and pans, and just the heightened threat level in this country has not gone down. And so we do need additional resources for exactly what you describe, whether it is in the Dignitary Protection Division, where, as you know, the leadership gets protection details, woefully understaffed. I mean, we've got officers, we provide the protection at the level it needs to be, but you do that through officers working double shifts and averaging, our DPD agents average 50 hours of overtime every pay period, 50 hours. So we've got to get, we've got a 200, 250, somewhere in there, DPD agents. It needs to be 500, it needs to be doubled. And that way we can provide, and not only can we provide protection for the leadership 24/7, but when we have people that have threats against them that require us to stand up temporary details, we can do that. Because right now, when we do it, we're robbing Peter to pay Paul. We're yanking somebody off another detail to stand up a detail to help someone for a temporary threat situation. And I could just give you example after example where we would, if we had the staffing, we'd be able to do a better job in terms of protecting people when they're not on this campus. The threat agents, we had in November, over 700 threats came in the month of November. And we have maybe 20-some threat investigation agents. That needs to be doubled. And, you know, and we're going to add another, I think we're adding another 8, you know, that are just getting out of their basic investigations training this week. So that there's help on the way, but even that is not enough. We've got to continue. So, so the DPD, the threat agents, the intelligence operation we have, I mean, we have such a great intelligence bureau, but we still have agents that are doing the work that analysts should do. We can hire an analyst, a civilian analyst, to sit in front of a computer and go and do the investigative work on a computer. Let the agent be out on in the field, locking people up, knocking on doors to do interviews, and doing the work that only those agents can do. So, I have a simple recipe to get this done. We've gotten to where we are today by having 12 recruit classes, 1 a month, and of 25 officers, that 288 number. And let's continue that through the next calendar year and maybe the next calendar year after that. But right now, we would need our authorization raised and we'd need our appropriation raised in order to be able to do that for the next year. And I think it has to be done because the critical need for our Protection Services Bureau requires that we continue to train those recruits, get them out in the field. There's a ton of people that you see on these posts around, especially the young ones, and all they want to do is become agents. They want to join a dignitary protection. They want to be a threat agent, you know, investigation agent. And so as those we can move them over there when we backfill. You know, when we backfill with new recruits. So we've got to keep the recruit classes going.
Thank you very much.